Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Molesky. This is my YouTube channel. Here's the deal. Almost every time I make a video, something interrupts it. And sometimes it's 40 minutes in, sometimes it's 10 minutes in. But inevitably, lately, I get stopped. So I was just making a video about feeling sorry for yourself. Holy shit, okay. And then I was almost done. It's about 15 minutes. And then my phone rang. So I paused the record and it stopped recording. And when I got off the phone, I swore. Like twice. Because I was pissed off. So I'm like, well, okay, maybe I shouldn't do a video about that. Like maybe it's a sign or something. So then I thought, well, I'll just talk to you about blame. But let's not. Let's stick with feeling sorry for yourself. Can I control getting interrupted? How much can I control of getting interrupted? How much energy have you spent blaming? And if you were to scientifically analyze that, how much really could be in your control? Are you wasting most of your energy swearing twice loudly instead of going, oh, well, you know what, next time, and actually if this keeps happening, then I shouldn't do that, and I should use this piece of technology for this, and these people don't like me and they don't treat me with respect, and yet I've been friends with them for 4 years, and I hate my job, and I'm not happy. And I had a friend who hated her job so much that she had to go to therapy. And I said, why don't you quit your job and find another job? And she said, do you know what she said? She said, I would, but this job covers my therapy. So I said, oh, the therapy that you have to go to since you started this job? Idiot woman, are you kidding me? So she was blaming her job. How much could she have controlled that part of her life? By the way, she has a different job now. So she took care of it. And I guess that leads me to, usually people have a thing in life that they don't like, and they complain and complain and kvetch and vetch and bitch and moan and complain and complain. And then eventually one day you see them 10 years later and they don't have that problem anymore because they finally took care of it. Some people need to complain for like a minute, like 1 minute. And then they go, okay, well, I'm never going to let that happen again. I'm going to change that. And I'm going to quit blaming. And then other people actually need about 9 years, 11 months, and 2 weeks in order to go, oh, you know what? I think I'm just going to get a new job. I think I'm just going to break up with this woman who has cheated on me 17 times. Oh, you know what? I think I'm just going to move out of this neighborhood because the neighbors they pissed me off for 9 years. So what is it in your life that's like a minor annoyance all the time, every day, often? When you come home and you complain to your wife or to your husband, is it a complaint? Like if you were to, nope, stop it. Here we go. If you were to ask your number one confidant, whether that's a spouse or a friend, and you were to say, hey, Stacy, I have a question for you. I feel like complaining right now. If you had to guess, and if you got it right, you'd win $1,000. Do you have a good guess of what I complain about? Would Stacy pretty much know what you're going to complain about? Or are you just like, you never complain? So Stacy would be shocked that you are gonna. When I started dating my husband, I was talking about how wise exes are. Because if you're not a total bag of poopies, then your exes probably aren't horrible people, right? So they're really wise in the sense of if they care about you, which they probably do, right? Unless you're a real bag. Those people are really, really great resources for becoming better people and what you should be working on. So I said to my husband, "What do you think your exes would say?" And he told me, and then he asked me, and I told him, and then we texted our exes and said, "Hey, we're in a relationship, and it's going really great. What advice would you give to our person right now? And what is the one thing that you think that I should work on to make this relationship work?" And they told us. And it was pretty similar to what we had guessed they would say. So, I think sometimes when we imagine what others would say about us, about our problems, about what we should work on, about what we complain about most and would be happiest if we fixed, we can often gain more insight than sitting there going, "What can I do? Well, I don't know what I can do. Well, I don't know I don't even know. I don't have any control over my life. And I don't even know what to do." Well, what would Stacy say? Stacy would say that I always bitch about filming videos outside. And Stacy would say, "Well, put your do not disturb on and walk further away from the house and let everyone know that you're going to record." And I would go, "Oh my. Stacy, you're so smart." And then I would do what Stacy would say if Stacy were a real person. Isn't it that some people will pretend like they have these characters, well, people that used to be alive, and they do meditation exercises of sitting and having a conversation with them at a table? It's Jesus, Jefferson, Malcolm X, and Tony Robbins. Would that be? That's a kind of a weird group. What would they say? So that technique has been used in different ways by other people. So could you use that? Are you complaining and feeling sorry for yourself? Before I go, I'll just tell you what I was saying in that video that got 2 swear words because I was almost done recording it. Was that I don't like it when people feel sorry for themselves, but I think there's 2 kinds of feeling sorry. So I was listening to a psychiatrist who was talking to a kid. What do you mean kid? I mean like 23. And he, very smart, very smart. That was his superpower. It's how he saw himself. It was part of his identity. And he dropped out of a PhD program. And he was telling the reasons why. And they seemed like valid reasons. But as he was telling it, he got choked up and he started to cry. And I said, "Oh, he's feeling sorry for himself." And then I had to stop the video to talk to myself out loud about what I actually meant. I don't mean it in the sense of, "Oh, quit feeling sorry for yourself." No one likes that. And that's kind of the blaming, swearing twice. It's an external, you know that you have enough power in your life to change anything that you would feel sorry for yourself over in externals. But there's a different kind of feeling sorry for yourself where it's the kid that was telling the story of how he dropped out of school He had a ton of potential, and he lives in his parents' basement, and he plays way too many video games. His words, not mine. When he started to cry, it was because he felt sorry for his soul, because he knew that he was letting himself down. Not himself, his self. A question was presented to me last week, and it was, I'll present it to you. I'd like you to think about it. If you knew for certain that you were born for a divine purpose, how would you live your life differently than you do right now? That is a good question. I would live my life differently. I bet you would too, if you really take that question to heart. And then I guess I would ask you, how far is the difference between how you would live if you knew that you had a divine purpose compared to how you do now? Okay. Is there a big juxtaposition? And then number two, why don't you live? Why don't you live that life? And then the question before that, so the two, and then that would be the third question. The second question would be, which life would be better? Which life would feel better? The one you live now, or the one that you would live if you knew that you had a divine purpose? And then the third question is, why don't you? So that kid that was crying, there was divinity in him that he felt he was letting down. Now the cool thing about life is his divine purpose probably required this to happen. He's going to be fine. You know, like the last time you felt sorry for your soul, it turned out okay. When you have enough years to look back, and sometimes it didn't. Sometimes there was probably a divine meaning or something that was supposed to happen, and you fucked it up, and you did, and that's part of who you are, and that's okay, or it's not, or you're going to use that to always be losing in the divine sense, or you're going to say, well, I should have done that. Learn my lesson, moving on. That's it, everyone. I hope that you have a good day. I hope that the next time you go to the grocery store, try this. Next time you go to the grocery store or the gas station or the convenience store, spend that 1 to 20 minutes acting like you're here for a divine purpose. And just like feel what that feels like. Does it feel different? Does it feel better? Are you a better person? Okay. I got some emails from my last video about what are you afraid of? We're all the same. We're all afraid of the same stuff. It's too bad. All right, everyone. Have a good day. Goodbye.